Well, Elon Musk is going to be advising President Trump. Is he also going to be advising Justin Trudeau? That's the talk. Probably not, but it's the talk. That would be great. So Elon Musk is forming the DOGE Taskforce, the Department of Government Excess. Pretty sweet. Elon's he's a smart guy. He's so smart. That's my absolute terrible Trump impression. But what's Elon Musk going to be focusing on? Guy's a genius, okay? Love him or hate him. Absolute genius. Number one, he's going to be focused on bureaucratic efficiency, mainly regulations. This is what Canada needs the most. We are the most regulated G7 country on the planet, by far, especially the housing sector, which Elon Musk talks about a lot in the U.S., about how we got to help the housing markets in California and New York and Illinois, especially the highest regulated states. No surprise, the biggest housing crises are in those three states. Well, Canada's even worse. We're just one giant fucking New York, one giant California. So the talk is if we had somebody like Elon or Elon himself, if we had someone like him to deregulate the housing industry, which I talk about all the time. That's what this whole channel is fucking dedicated to, is how messed up the housing market is. As an investor who's bought over 200 homes now that were in the U.S., no longer Canada, I wish I could stay here. I wish I could keep buying here. We ain't buying here no more because it's too highly regulated. There's no room for entrepreneurship, no room for innovation, no room to do business. Nothing makes sense. Nothing cash flows. The investors are the bad guys. They're evil. Can't do anything here. So, and that's just the housing industry. Imagine the deregulation and the crap that goes on with everything. You guys know, with just simple projects in your neighborhood, replacing sidewalks, replacing a staircase on a public park. It takes like a year. Right now, down the street from my house, right on the corner, I live in a newer subdivision, like 2 years old. This park's been going in for like a fucking year. They got all the grass done, all the rocks, the benches there. Where's the park, dude? It's been like a year. It's just not efficient. Okay, number two, regulation, reduction. I already touched on that. Number three, waste management. So addressing all the waste in government spending, kind of like I hinted at, was just at the local municipal level. Imagine everything else. Okay, I just read a story today. Now that it's all coming out, and now that this transition team is in place, Elon Musk and Vivek are already starting to find crazy things. The U.S. taxpayer paid for trans drag shows in Ecuador with U.S. tax money. Yeah, that's legit. That's not like overblown, right-wing, crazy. No, it's legit. That's exactly what happened. What else did I read? It's like insane stuff. Oh, they were testing for butterflies in Europe. The test was being held in Europe, but U.S. taxpayers paid for it anyway. And don't forget what I always say, America, while as messed up as it is, it's transparent, fairly transparent. Their system is open. They have the Freedom of Information Act. We have something like that, but it's not as good. So all this stuff is public information. You can find it anywhere. And it's going to be more public information by Elon Musk saying everything that they do and recommend will be up on a public ledger, just like crypto. No surprise, it's called Doge. But yeah, Canada's all private. All the information is private, which is kind of good. I can tell you from a personal note on how bad it is. My wife went through her schooling, bachelor degree, master's, and PhD at U of T. Very successful person, by the way, in academia. And she focused on sociology and crime. So trying to get data from the court systems in Canada is impossible. It's impossible. We don't have it. She had to go to the courthouse and sit there and interview people in the court or over listen to conversations, and that's how she got her data. That's so like 1873. In America, everything's public information. You right now can go find information on any body cam footage from a police officer, from a traffic stop, anything. It's called the Freedom of Information Act. We don't have that in Canada. It's all private information. So that should change. How about that first, huh? How about that first? Next up, structural reforms and overhauling government operations to adopt a more entrepreneurial take on things. Yes, as Trump is obviously a business-minded president, he wants more business. The way to get out of this recession, the way to provide more jobs is from the top down. That's what he believes, trickle-down economics. You've heard that term before. I know you have, because the left has been beating it up for the past fucking 10 years. just beating up his policies from before he started running as president to when he won in 2016. And for some reason, while he wasn't even president, because they knew he was going to run again, trickle down doesn't work. Trickle down, it's bottom up economics. Well, that really doesn't work. And I can tell you as a business owner and entrepreneur myself, I'm not saying it's the right way or the perfect way. I'm just giving you my take. It certainly does work. If there's deregulation and it's easier for me to hire people, and for example, just to go really extreme for a second, I'm not advocating for this, but just to go really extreme, if there wasn't a minimum wage, like if we got rid of that, especially for more part-time like sectors, like jobs that would hire part-time people, it would be more competitive. I'm not saying it's the right way to go, but the argument is, would it be more competitive? Yes, a hell of a yes, 100% it would be. Like, why is Zehrs or a grocery store having to pay what is the wage now? $18 an hour? 20? Somewhere around there now? Like, that's fucked up, dude. Somebody stocking shelves getting paid $18 an hour. No wonder why they're not hiring certain people, young people, which in the data in Canada, by the way, no coincidence, the people struggling the most in Canada are ages 18 to 24. First-time job people. They're in school. They're doing the stock shelving stocks, all that shit at stores. No surprise, they're the ones not having success in jobs. Tim Hortons, Best Buy, like all these low-level jobs, right? That's the sector getting hit the hardest. Why? Because if I am going to pay somebody $18 an hour like I have to and being forced to, I'm going to hire the 42-year-old with life experience who's looking for the first-time job for whatever reason why they're looking for it. I'm going to hire the 42-year-old rather than the 18-year-old who I should be really hiring so they can get experience on the property. This is real-life shit, guys. You might not like what I'm saying. Unions. You might not like what I'm saying, but I'm telling you, as a real entrepreneur who had a business in Canada, I bought and sold over 150 properties. I had a construction business of 13 employees. I shut it all down. I didn't want to, but the opportunity in the U.S. is so much better. I make way more money with way less risk. I can expand faster with my business because the population in Canada is 40 million, and America is 380 million. I can expand way faster. I'm going there. My business shut down here. And by the way, I restarted our business in the U.S. 8 months ago. It's already better than anything I ever had in Canada. So congrats to me. You're probably like, shut up, investor. But it just goes to show you, I say that because the speed at which you can expand in the U.S. is much faster. It's liquid. It's less regulated. Getting money from banks for businesses or for, in our case, real estate purchasing is literally unlimited. Having a hard time buying a house in Canada? Yeah, it ain't that hard in the U.S. It's pretty fucking easy. Last point here, public-private collaboration, leveraging private sector expertise. Yes, okay. For governance, yes. Which is what's happening right now. The Constitution is wide open. Same thing in Canada, but we don't have private sector people really giving advice to the Prime Minister or the Liberal Party or whatever. It's government officials only, which is why the public sector in Canada is exploding, right? They're hiring all these public sector people in the jobs report you're seeing, but we're not hiring the people that matter. Okay, we're not creating jobs for the carpenters, the bricklayers, the automotive shop, the manufacturing shop. That's what makes Canada. That's what makes America. That's what makes the economy. Blue collar and low white collar. That's what runs the world. The everyday Canadian, the everyday American. Well, down there's less regulation, but also it's been widely known in the U.S. that you get private sector advice from people in the solar industry, from the oil industry, from the financial industry, right? J.P. Morgan, what's his name? Jamie Dimon is always giving advice and giving like interviews with Joe Biden and his team. Like that's always a thing. Elon Musk wants to make that easier and make it more part of the government in a sense that they can actually get there easier, which is what Trump is doing right now by getting advice from Vivek Ramaswamy, Elon Musk, all these guys, and a bunch of other private sector guys. So yeah, I like it. What do you think? Should Canada have something like this? Would it be cool if Elon Musk was in Canada and had a DOGE for Canada? Let me know what you think.